In the previous chapter, Oma was challenged by the consecrators to determine whether he was truly strong enough to face Shin Wulong. Oma accepted and completely dominated the fight. Watching from the monitors, Take and Katahara were stunned, both remarking on Oma's incredible growth and power. Eventually, the consecrators had no choice but to yield, unable to keep up with him. Oma then turned to Ryuki and told him that if he couldn't defeat the consecrators, he had no chance against Wulong. Ryuki stepped up, knowing full well that he couldn't overpower them as effortlessly as Oma did. Instead, he relied on strategy, using clever maneuvers to turn the 2-on-1 battle into separate 1-on-1 encounters, gradually outsmarting the consecrators and gaining the upper hand. After the fight, Oma, Ryuki, and the consecrators stood atop a helipad, watching the horizon as a helicopter approached. Oma, still curious about the consecrators, remarked that there seemed to be more of them than he thought, joking that Wulong must have a lot of kids. Ryuki corrected him, stating that they were all just clones, not actual children. Lucky admitted that even he had never met all of the clones, and Scarface added that there must be at least 20 of them scattered around the world. Scarface then recalled the day the worm realized that none of the clones they had created could become a perfect vessel for the connector. Rather than destroy them, the worm simply released them, telling them to go lead a life of their own. Most of the clones went their separate ways, but Lucky and Scarface chose to stay behind with the worm. Ryuki was surprised by this, having believed they were always under strict worm supervision. Scarface reassured him that the worm treated them well because they were imperfect clones of the connector, still valuable, even if they couldn't fulfill their intended purpose. He added that Ryuki might run into some of their siblings somewhere in the world one day. Lucky then informed Scarface that their ride had arrived. Before leaving, Oma asked them what they planned to do next. Lucky replied that with the death dealers gone, no one would be hunting them anymore. He planned to spend the rest of his life in a quiet country where he could finally relax. Scarface, however, admitted he had no real plans, he would simply go wherever life took him. Oma and Ryuki wished them both well. Just before boarding the helicopter, Lucky turned back one last time, telling them that this would probably be the last time they'd ever meet. He said he didn't mind them at all, and said his final goodbyes as he and Scarface boarded the helicopter. As the helicopter disappeared into the distance, Oma complimented Ryuki on how well he held his own against the consecrators. Ryuki admitted that was all he could do. He explained that he couldn't take both consecrators head-on, so he had to create opportunities to fight them one at a time. Oma reassured him that there was nothing wrong with that approach, pointing out that in real battles, the strongest fighter doesn't always win. Ryuki thanked him for the encouragement, but said he still wasn't satisfied with his current strength, and wanted to get stronger. Oma suggests they should start training tomorrow. Ryuki liked the idea, and added that he planned to bring Koga along with him. The story then fast-forwards to the day before the showdown on Ganryu Island. Nogi stands before the assembled fighters and announces that tonight will be their final supper before the tournament begins. He raises his drink and declares that they will be victorious. Seeing all the fighters gathered in one place, Ryuki wonders if they are all participating in the competition. Koga suspects that not everyone is joining and that some are simply there to offer support. Oma approaches the two, casually asking if they are having fun. He reminds them that it is too late to let nerves get the better of them and tells them to relax. Ryuki is surprised at how calm Oma appears, showing no signs of anxiety. Oma then comments on the massive turnout, noting that the Kengan Association always seems to draw a large crowd. He mentions that they even built an entire spectator village just for this special match. After saying this, Oma leaves to greet the others. Ryuki remarks that Oma has not changed one bit, and Koga agrees, suggesting that Oma probably does not even know the meaning of the word pressure. Meanwhile, they feel completely crushed by it. Overhearing their conversation, Yamashita steps in, saying he would not see things that way. Having spent a lot of time with Oma, he can tell when he is nervous. Akiyama is surprised that Yamashita noticed this as well and points out that Oma has not touched any of the food. Koga realizes the only thing Oma has touched was his drink, and Ryuki concludes that he must be nervous after all. Yamashita reminds them that no one is immune to nerves. He reveals that the purpose of this party is to ease everyone's anxiety so they can be at their best when the tournament begins. He adds that this includes Koga and Ryuki as well, and all he and Akiyama can do now is support them. Koga understands that everyone is scared and realizes he has no excuses, while Ryuki admits that he had not realized they weren't the only ones giving their all. Both vow to give everything they have in the tournament, not just for themselves but for their friends as well. As the party continues, the countdown to the showdown draws near. One by one, everyone prepares themselves for the final stage on Ganryu Island. I didn't think the tournament would start so soon, especially when they were still setting up the fight with Kure Rayan and Gilbert. Despite that, I'm very excited to see how this tournament unfolds, especially with these new rules. Hopefully the strongest characters doesn't lose in cheesy ways, and I hope we get some interesting matchups between the characters. The main question is, how does anybody hope to stand a chance against Shin Wulong? Maybe Kuroki has a chance, since he's one of the few people who's managed to damage Shin. Or maybe Oma, since he is the one who's being built up for this moment. Honestly, they might just try to use the rules against Shin, in order to win against him, but I hope it doesn't come to that. There are many possibilities that can happen in this tournament, so I hope we get a good one this time. Unfortunately, I will not be there to cover this tournament, as I will be going on a camp for the entirety of October, which sucks, but there's nothing I can do. However, when I return, I might just make a video covering the entire tournament to make up for lost time. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I hope to be back as soon as possible. Love you all, and take care.